Hello all, hope you are having a good day. Just a quick recap of yesterday. Essentially, I went and did a few unlocks. I unlocked mortars so that they could help out with the upcoming meta. And I also unlocked the laser rangers, and I'll show a few hits using these. Quite a good troop to have, I think. They're much faster than rocket choppers. Obviously, they're going to be slower than Seekers, and the Seeker players will still be able to beat you if they can clear your base. So just be mindful of that. Apart from that, I do have 2 chests to collect. I do need to build a new base because my previous base was quite easy for laser rangers. So once that's done, then I'll go ahead and collect my chest as well. In terms of the log, not looking too bad. 1 loss against Lava Giant because I fizzled. I tried to use Seekers on that base, so it didn't work out very well for me. Let's go through the hits. This one was a simple base. It did not have shock launchers, it did not have critter launchers, it did not have too many defenses also, so I knew that this was going to be a Seeker player. So I went with the brick battle orders and Seekers myself, and just doing a similar sort of style as in the previous days. It's quite easy to take down for me. Unfortunately, the opponent fizzled, so I couldn't see how well they could have done on my base. This one against a legendary player. I did drop out yesterday when I was trying to collect chests, but that's okay. The base is more stacked to the right side, and over here I'm going to use laser rangers. So I used 2 boats of heavy choppers and remaining 6 boats of laser rangers with Kawan, and used Kawan to spin up some rifles pretty much from the get-go. Laser rangers are really powerful, as you see over here. You do need to take care of rocket launchers and mines and critter launchers and things. But with our gunboat abilities, as well as 100% GBE, it shouldn't be a problem to take down the base. So at least there shouldn't be any fizzling if you're using laser rangers. And then it comes to being a base race all over again. This one was also a similar layout I just placed. So I tried to do slightly different. Instead of using 6 boats of laser rangers, I used 5. And I saved 1 boat of Seeker to go and get this particular top left ER. I do need to wait until the CR is done before I can release it. I could have dropped my Seekers at that point in time, but I kind of missed it. Otherwise, this would have been slightly faster, but there the Seekers are going. And then it's just a case of waiting for the other 2 ERs to drop down as well on a quick flare. And then the final ER is being taken down by the Seekers in that time as well. So I think that could be quite a useful combination for folks to consider. This one I had gotten back to legendary rank, so I was trying to push a little bit. Slightly different layout, and in this one I did a split hit with the heavy choppers and laser rangers. I still kept 1 boat of Seekers just to try out how it would go. And I think it worked out okay because it did help me take down this ER over here quite quickly. And then the critters are also distracting the defenses while moving towards the top ER. And they do try to take down as quickly. So they do last pretty much for the entire battle, while the other laser rangers are clearing off the remaining base as well. And with that, the base goes down. Okay. Next one, a more spread out base. So I'm again going to use the heavy choppers and laser rangers on these ones, because they do seem quite a good troop combination to have. This one also had all the mines, the boom mines, the shock mines, etc. I did bring along 2 boats of Seekers on this one, again to try and experiment to see how they would go. And they're doing a good job of taking down the ERs while the laser rangers are focused on the defenses. Obviously, they're not going to last for the entire duration this time around because the space was pretty much max base with all the mines, etc. And my job wasn't really to keep the seekers alive. It was just to ensure that the laser rangers are moving forward and they are they're taking care of all the other defenses and the ERs as moving forward too. It's a slightly slower time than the previous one, but still not too bad. Then this one was my older layout from yesterday. So I thought, let's try and use seekers. I did fizzle on this one. So that's not very good. You're fizzling on your own base layouts, but that goes to show that this was quite good against seekers at that point. If only I had shock mines, it would probably have been quite a good base to keep. This opponent did have shock mines, so they had the edge over there. I kind of nearly took it down, but I think if I had been patient enough for this shock launcher to fall as well, then I would have been in a better position. Because trying to keep 2 shock launchers out of commission is quite tough. But the opponent had already fizzled by then, so I also ended up retreating. Next one is again on spread layout. I tried to improvise over here too. So I went with 2 boats of heavy choppers and 4 boats of laser rangers to start clearing up on the right side. And for these 2 years on the left side, I would use 2 boats of seekers as well. So I was just waiting to collect up enough GBE so that I could have enough for the cryo bombs and could manage the hit. And the seekers are doing a good job on the ER, while the laser rangers work on this particular ER. I did have to flare up to help out the seekers in the end because this critter launcher was throwing out critters like crazy and eating up all my seekers. But not a bad time overall on this hit. Abdul Salama, he retreated for some reason, either a disconnect or something else. I'm guessing it was a disconnect because he's quite a good player and generally doesn't do things like that. So it was an easy win for me. And then I did one more hit just to secure my legendary rank a little bit more. This was again a spread layout with the shock launchers but no critter launchers. So I went with heavy choppers and seekers on this one with bricks iron will capability. I am letting the seekers clear up the middle ERs while the heavy choppers have been flared to take down the right ER. I'm keeping the shock launcher short so that it doesn't distract my seekers too much. And you'll see the heavy choppers and heavies have already taken down this particular ER. So it was quite a good time overall on this hit as well. I think those are all the hits. In terms of my chess collection, I am at 27 stars within the legendary tier. So I'll definitely get the next chest in legendary tier, even if I lose. Unless it's a disconnect or something, and that would be really bad. But let's see. I think getting the second chest in legendary might be tough if I lose 2, because generally if I lose it's like minus 15 or 17 or something like that. And those are against the Seeker players who also have all the tools to do their Seeker hits really well. For the tech tree, one of the things which I'll be picking up is the protonode over here. That's for sure. I'll most likely be picking up the Doom Cannon. The Shock Blast also looks tempting, especially against the Seeker players, because I know that if Bullet gets locked up with Shock Blaster, that means generally a Seeker hit is quite poor, especially as I already have the critter launchers and shock launchers, so let's see on that. And then in terms of backfilling, I still don't have the mine nodes, so I might consider picking up some mines. I still don't have the proto node over here, so that looks interesting as well. And also the combination of barrage and artillery, which I don't have either. I don't think I'll start saving up for 7 ER just yet, because looking at the leaderboard, I know a few players are saving up for 7 ER, but most of them are having quite a beefy 6 ER. So I think that might be a better play for me currently, at least for today. And then I'll see what I need to get done tomorrow to either advance or at least get a few more legendary rank chest. It's not necessarily needed for me to pick up everything in legendary because we still have quite some time left in the season and the 7 year is quite close and there are not too many nodes to pick up after 7 year too, especially my node is not necessary, so that's a good thing which Supercell have done and they're not forcing that on us. Now this one is also interesting with the additional shock launcher and critter launcher. I'm not too sure which one I will, but I'll not be picking up rocket launcher for sure. And this one is also a strong proto node with another doom cannon or a grappler. Both of them become quite interesting to use when defending against seeker hits for sure. But if it's against laser rangers, then probably the flotsam cannon or the doom cannon might be a better choice. That's all for today, folks. Have a great day. Catch you in the next video.